first one, which I'm going to introduce now. The first talk is Unblock, Unchain, the New AI. And this talk is by Murali Vullaganti, and I was really impressed reading about his effort and his work. His motto is to love all, serve all, and his work that he'll talk about today really depicts that. He is the CEO of People Shores, a US-based public benefit corporation, which is focusing on empowering the disconnected young adult in underserved communities. And he has also founded a similar company, Rural Shores in India, which brings technology to the rural youth. So his talk is going to be about his journey from a life of business to the business of life. So please welcome Mr. Murali Vullaganti.
Good morning. So that's my talk. About 30 plus years ago, I moved fresh out of college. I moved to the US with one goal, purpose, that is to make money. To make money so that I can supplement the meager income of my father, who was only earning 600 rupees a month as a teacher and raising a family of six children, basically. So I thought I'll come here and make some money to help him, help him in his struggles. Then make more money to get my four sisters married away to a decent family and well-to-do families. Then make even more money so that I can get my younger brother, to come here and get educated. Then I further make even more money so that my parents can have a house of their own, which they cannot even afford to dream of having. So by God's grace, I could achieve all of that, and also at the same time, I was tasting the success of my professional career. I was working in New York on Wall Street, providing technology solutions to investment bankers, institutional banks, corporate treasuries, capital markets, basically. And was working for EDS. EDS then, after 15 years of my work in New York on Wall Street, they posted me to Asia Pacific to run their Asia Pacific operations for financial markets. Moved to Singapore, was there on deputation for 3 years, got extended for another 3 years, 6 years. 6 years later, they asked me to come back to Plano, Texas, the headquarters, as part of the Global Leadership Council. But then, by then I had 20 years of the journey on this track called life of business. Then I said, this is enough. Now I need to change my track and discover myself by embarking on this journey called business of life. So I moved back to India with the intent of doing something on the social front, and founded this organization called Rural Shores, which is a social enterprise setting up these IT BPO centers in the rural parts, tier 5, tier 6 places of the country. Take the rural youth, train them, those who just completed high school, train them, give them jobs in those centers, get the work outsourced, and they get job delivered from these centers. Luck could have it, or by God's grace, or by the hard work of the team that I'm surrounded with, we could grow in the last 9 years to 20 centers across 10 states. Now we have more than 4,300 rural youth employed in these centers, doing an amazing, superior quality of service. And thank you. And in the course of the last 9 years, we actually given jobs to more than 11,000 people, because after 3-4 years of gaining the personal experience, they moved their career by joining the bigger companies to be managers, supervisors, leaders. So that is a phenomenal journey for me personally, a great transformation for myself, to discover myself. Then, these are the centers of those places, some of the centers. And we were delivering work for a premier brand companies, both multinational and domestic organizations, and got recognition from the media as well as for several organizations and awards internationally and domestic. So 2 years ago, I decided that now that we have a very great executive team to run the operations and grow the organization further, and we have been growing now, we have a tremendous demand and backlog of work, outsourcing work, that's being awarded, and we're catching up to that backlog. While doing that, I stepped down from my operational responsibility and wanted to come back to the fatherland. While India is a motherland which gave me the birth and helped me inculcate the values and all, but this is the country that gave me that ability to take on journey of business of life. So I wanted to come back and do something different. So I moved here, brought the same model, exported that model from India that's been successful to this country, and started this organization called People Shows about a year ago. And the intent of, again, the same thing, providing job opportunities for those who've been left out of the system, which we call opportunity youth. Opportunity youth are the ones who are disconnected from the employment and education for many reasons. It could be because of the poverty, they come from low income and not have access to the education, or it could be those who are homeless, and those are coming out of the foster system, or people who are on autistic spectrum, or physically challenged, or victims of domestic violence. So many of these young adults who are generally between 18 and 29 not able to get into the market, but they have aspirations, they have the talent, and they have the wherewithal to learn and prove themselves. So we started the first center here in San Jose, where in Santa Clara County, where we are now, there are 13,000 such disconnected young adults, according to San Jose City, which we don't know, we don't see them, right? And so we set up this center about 9 months ago. We have 20 people working, and we're continuing to grow. And the idea is to take this model across the country. The vision is to have one center in each state in about 7-10 years time frame, and employing about 10,000, providing jobs for more than 20,000 people, but have 10,000 on payroll at that time. And places like, these are all in the communities like inner cities here, or it is Native American reservations, or it is the military bases where there is a huge amount of unemployed veterans, the rustic belt in the Midwest and South. So that is the whole goal. And next center is coming up in Mississippi Delta, where the income levels there is the poorest region in the country, and the poverty levels are below the poverty levels in Bangladesh, believe it or not. So that is the idea. And can I request to play the video, please? No?
Estimates, Silicon Valley has 13,000 people who are disconnected from the economy. Some are homeless, some have other kinds of challenges. This program, called People Shores, is doing something unique about that. It is training people for tech jobs, but goes a step further. It is set up as a for-profit company, so once trained, these workers are hired to do coding and other projects for a number of tech companies.
To work with actual people instead of just sitting around and learning, we're actually learning and using at the same time. So it's been great.
Belinda Burns was homeless. Mohan Krishnan is a musician but hasn't been working lately.
I mean, I know I can bartend any day, but that's not something I want to, I don't see myself as a retiree, moving into my retiree years as a bartender.
Once their 2 month of training ends, they'll be paid $15 an hour. After a 3-month probationary period, they will get benefits, including medical, paid time off, and holidays. The concept started in India under the name Rural Shores, where 4,000 people have been trained. CEO Murali Vullaganti brought the model to Silicon Valley last August. He says it works because the trainees are able to use their new skills immediately, putting worries behind them.
So give them that comfort. It starts with the comfort, that leads to commitment, that leads to high quality work, that leads to getting more and more work.
People Shores partners with nonprofits and the city to find applicants for the program.
This really works as Silicon Valley should work. Private sector, nonprofits, government, all working together.
In San Jose, David Louie, ABC 7 News.
So I'll end with this. Thank you. Please don't eat away from my 10-minute talk. So I end this with this thought. I call it this journey, this trend as unblock, unchain, the new AI. Unblock the mindset of the corporates and the people that thinking that these people cannot do the job. They can do the job. They can do deliver high quality service because they have the commitment and the dedication that's proven in India and here. unchain from these young adults from the shackles of the poverty or the challenges where they are, and give them the self-confidence and self-esteem. The new AI, altruistic inclusion, the inclusion is not only including them to the mainstream, but also for us, anybody who believes in this cause and share the passion, it belongs to all of us, these initiatives. And you all can participate, and we want to know how you want to participate. We have a booth out there. Please come and visit us, and happy to share our thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.